Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Delta State is more than just a university. It's embracing your creativity. It's discovering your passion. It's creating your own unique experiences, both inside and outside of the classroom. It is a Delta state of mind.
Welcome back to the 2023 Gulf South Conference Football Media Day, live from the Hyatt Regency in Hoover, Alabama, right outside of the magic city of Birmingham. We're joined now by the Delta State Statesman. And in the state of Mississippi, they don't use the word co, but in the Gulf South Conference, they are the co-champions of 2022. We're joined by Todd Cooley and also Patrick Shegog, the quarterback and coach. I hear in Mississippi, you guys just dropped the co is just champs, right?
We like to think of it that way, but, it's a tough league. Anytime you get champion at all in this league, it's pretty special.
When you look back on it, all the pieces came together at the right time. Mm-hmm. What were those cogs that made this a championship ball club?
I just think the players bought in, a lot of leadership from guys like himself. We really didn't have to do a lot as far as correcting things. We corrected things like one time, and it got corrected. I think, last year at this time we were picked 5th in our league, and everybody's doubting us, but we had a group that believed and started out early, and we had 4 straight road games, and, we were a connected team after those road games, and it just kind of got a little momentum and just kept going, and guys just really, not to sound like corny or cliche, I mean, they just try to get better every day. And when that happens, selfless attitudes, you got a chance.
You win the conference, you win a playoff game, and then you got to go right back and face another
Gulf
conference
South
foe.
team.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult is that?
Oh, it's tough. You got to win the Gulf South twice, in order to get out of the region, and it's been that way forever. West Florida's a really good football team, and they got us, and it was a really good game. They got us, and that happens. But we got to learn from it, but it's like we've talked about. Me and our players have talked about, our coaches. This is going to be a different year. 22's over. Well, all we can do is learn from it, and now we got to start the whole process over. And we started that in January, and we had more attendance and voluntary workouts this summer than we've ever had, and I think we did a really good job of. Our guys are working hard from the reports that I've been given, and we're excited about getting in next Wednesday and reporting and getting on the practice field.
Patrick, talk about last season. It seems as though you guys were offensively clicking on all cylinders. How good did it feel to actually hoist that trophy and call yourself champion?
So in the years prior to last year, we used to always have a good defense, and then the offense would struggle. But last year, we was able to, offensively start clicking, and, we had a successful season. So, yeah, it was fun to finally be able to have an offense that could score points, and hopefully we can run it back this year and do the same thing.
How difficult was it to play West Florida twice in one season and come up a little short the second time around?
It's always fun playing them. Those are the games you look forward to every year. We knew that the second game was going to be just as competitive as the first one. We had a lot of injuries that game, but we didn't make excuses. None of the guys that had to step up shied away from it, and we was proud of that. But we came up short, and, like Coach said, you learn from it, and we look forward to playing them again. Know it's going to be a good one, as always, so, yeah.
Coach, when you look at this season, players coming back, due to injury, you had to play some younger guys. How strong do you think your team is coming into this year?
Well, I think we've got a chance if we'll all come together. We lost some big key parts of it. We lost our 2 starting tackles, which I thought were 2 of the better tackles in this league. So we've got to get that. We got to get guys to step in and take over. And it's like when we lost them last year, it was like when the other guys would come in, you're like, okay, well, he didn't hurt us there. Well, you're not trying to get somebody. You're trying to get that next level. We're like, oh yeah, he's dominating. He's playing the way we want him to play. And that's a tough step to make. We lost our 3 top receivers from a year ago. That's a lot of output that we got to replace. So offensively, we got some work to do. I think defensively, we have a chance to come back. We lost a starting corner. We lost a starting defensive end, but we feel like we've got some guys that are ready to compete to get into those roles and play the way that we want them to play. But man, it's football, and like anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting here, people are probably going to think that we're a little bit better this year than we were last year because of the year we had in 22. But I still go back. I don't ever forget anything. Last year we're picked 5th, and people are talking about us and are we ever going to get back to where we're supposed to be, and so we don't ever forget those times either. So we just try to stay humble and continue to stick to our process of what we believe in, and just keep working hard, keep our head down, and that's what we got to do.
Success breeds coaches getting other opportunities. You had to bring in 2 new coaches. How have they been able to gel with your team?
I think they're doing really well. Both of them have done really well. Obviously, they hadn't been through a game yet, so they hadn't been through fall camp yet. But I just feel like the first thing they did is establish relationships with their players, and that's big with us because we talk about being a family all the time, and I think they've bought into that. They want to be at Delta State. That means a lot to me. I want players and coaches that want to be at Delta State. I don't want people that walk in the door and think they're doing us a favor by being there. That's not going to work with us. So I think they got a chance to be good, and we're trying to elevate, each year. But like you said, we're in a league where that happens all around. We're in my opinion, the toughest Division II conference, top to bottom, in the country, and people get opportunities because of that.
Coach, when you look at this young man right here, what kind of growth can you see from Shegog?
Oh, it's exponential from where he came from in 2018. Decision-making, leadership, being more vocal. I've said it before. I can't think enough. I mean, I was just so happy for him. He put a whole season together. He stayed healthy, and he finally won a championship, that he wanted to chase. So, and now we got a bonus year. All the coaches are asking me if he's still eligible, and yes, he is, and he does have another year. But here's the great thing about him, and it's our whole quarterback room. We've got a lot of good quarterbacks on our campus, in my opinion, and they're so very selfless. And that's what's tough about it. And I talked to them about when you play quarterback, there's only one guy playing, which means there's only one parents in the stands that are happy. And the other guys, when Patrick kind of rose and took over the job, because last year he started off as our 3rd string quarterback, didn't pout, played scout team quarterback, didn't pout, didn't do anything, just kept playing, kept fighting, and just to see that whole room work together. And at the end of the day, I mean, he knows there's guys behind him that are going to push him. I mean, he's going to start practice next Friday with the 1s reps, and he knows he's going to have to perform, or when we go to Missouri, he won't be starting. So, and that's our whole program. That's just the way it is. I always get this time of year, I always think it's funny how people say, well, you got these many starters coming back. Well, do you really? You don't really know, because it's another year. Like, there's somebody else there, too, that are fighting. You don't know till you know. So that's why football, it's great to talk about it right now, and it's good for the fans and everything else, but we don't know till we tee it up,
I hear you. Special teams, you had an All-American. How important is he to your team, and what can we see from him?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hope he just continues. I hope he doesn't try to put, Nick's really a great young man. Nick Herbert just does a good job, does his job every day, but he's got a great relationship with Parker Burleson, who I think is one of the more underrated players in our league because, I mean, he led the country in touchbacks as a kickoffs. He's been our punter for 2 seasons now. Having those guys back, that brings you a lot of confidence as a coach. I don't know if Nick can, knock on wood, I hope he can, but, I mean, he went 19 for 20 last year. I mean, that's pretty good. So I think that I don't know another kicker that did that. So hopefully he can continue that. But if he just doesn't put that pressure on himself and just goes out and just focuses on his fundamentals, he'll be fine.
I hear you. Coach, you got something new locker room.
Yeah.
You said it was 6 years in the making, but the people outside looking in thought, oh, he won a championship, so they got him a new locker room.
That's our administration. They went out and raised a lot of money. It's all private funds. They did a great job raising money, and Coach Kennison, our athletic director, I asked for it, and he said, yeah, I think it's time. We've been talking about it for a long time. We finally had the money, and I think it turned out really, really nicely, and I know the players were excited, and I'm excited because I know what it's come, how far it's come. So I was really excited about it.
Patrick, when you see that locker room, what went through your mind?
It's about time. Yeah, I've been there since 2018, and we had the same locker room, and just seeing everything that we've experienced recently since 2022 is. I just feel like that's the mindset I have towards a lot of things. It's about time.
I hear you. How are your teammates feeling about it, and how much does that help, having those bright lights, the green lights, all of the fanfare? How does that help you be more productive on the field?
Having a new locker room like that, all the new stuff that we get, it makes people want to be at the field house more. And when you got people at the field house more, that means you got to work. So having people up there working all the time is going to make us better on the field.
I hear you. Coach, you seem like you sort of an old school coach. It doesn't matter how bright the lights.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Coach, this is a new normal.
Right.
Guys when they come in, they want to get a photo shoot. They want to get their name across their locker even before they sign.
Right.
How much have you had to adjust or as old school say, I just got to swallow it and go forward?
That's pretty much what I do. Yeah. I mean, it's it does. It helps in recruiting. And when I look at it, I'm like, I look at it for guys like him, for guys like Robbie Evans and guys that have been there for so long. John Fletcher, who's our offensive coordinator, has been with me since day one, and just seeing how far the program has come from a facility standpoint, from an academic standpoint. And it gets me excited. But you're right. It's like I told him that first day, this is great, but what comes out of that locker room is what matters, and it's like I've said before, graphics have never won a football game, bright lights have never won a football game, so it's nice to have, and it is the new normal, like you said, and it was time, and if we were going to do it, we were going to do it right, and I appreciate our administration doing it right, but at the end of the day, man, it's just a room. We what we build in that room is what matters. So I do like the fact that they're going to spend probably more time in it than they did before, and I think that's where your team is built, in the locker room and in the weight room. And and it's like, we've always said, Urban Meyer said it, you don't get the team you want, you get the team you build. And we're trying to build the team in the way that we want it built and get these guys closer so they spend more time together, which we're going to have a lot of time together early because, week 2, I think we drive like 27 hours to play Chowan, and we're going to be together for a long time. So
right.
We better like each other, and we better get connected pretty quickly.
Let's take a look at that schedule, and it is a formidable schedule, not only as far as conference games, but just the games that you're going to play in general. You got to go all the way up to Missouri S&T, and then at Chowan, those first 2 games you play, in-state rival in Mississippi Valley. Those first 3 games are really going to test the mettle of your team.
They really are, and that's kind of what you like coming out the gate, it's tough, but we started on the road last year. We've won we won 7 in a row on the road, so we need to continue that. Obviously, early, that would be great. But it's a tough schedule, and it doesn't get any easier on the second half, So that's when you get to the meat of the Gulf South stuff, and it's going to be tough. Of course, you got Mississippi Valley State. Coach Kendrick Wade, who was coaching with us a year ago, has done an unbelievable job over there. So that one's going to be crazy. We already know that because that one's going to be in Cleveland, and he's from Cleveland, and there's probably not enough bleachers in the stands right now, but we'll work on that. But anyway, it's going to be challenging, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
People around town, what have they told you now that you've got the trophy, you are a champion? Are they begging for more? Or they're saying, hey, Coach, that was great, but we're looking for that national championship now, Coach?
Oh, yeah, I think they've been looking for one since 2000, and then 2010 had a shot to get one with Coach Roberts. But, yeah, I mean, that's still always there. It's always there. But I don't know. Yeah, they're excited, but at the same time, they're ready to go. I mean, you got to understand it's a real smart fan base, and they understand football. And they're used to winning, which is why we like it there. We're the winningest program, 4-year school in the state of Mississippi, and we got a lot of pride in that, and we want to continue that.
What is it going to take to repeat as champions this season?
Selfless attitudes, total buy-in. And, I mean, football is really not that hard, but we all make it hard, and basically people get in the way. And that's something that we got to adjust. I mean, if we can just keep our head down, it's, you got all these guys coming in, you got new guys coming in, and it's just how you bring them together. If they can just keep working, you got guys that are coming in that are some guys were starter at their junior college, started their high school, and they're starting out day one and they're fourth string. Can you not get discouraged by that and keep going and keep practicing and just buy into what we're trying to do at Delta State? If that happens, we'll have a good season. If it doesn't, we won't. And it's really that simple.
The way this league is built, if you don't have depth, you're doomed to fail, safe to say?
Yes, 100%. 100%. You got to have depth. You got to. You can't go through the teams that we have in this league, and it's every team. If you don't have depth, you're I mean, you can sit there and say, well, we hope we don't get injured, but at some point something's going to happen. So, yeah, you got to have depth, and you got to have competition daily, and you just got to build a mindset of that you got to just be tough in this league, and you got to be able to go on the road and do things. And I mean, people don't realize, I mean, you got long road trips, number one, and you're usually going to play somebody that's really good, so it's tough.
All right, Coach. Good luck to you.
Man, I appreciate it.
All right, congratulations on the championship. Good luck to you.
Oh, yeah, appreciate you.
All right, we'll have more coming up. 2023 Gulf South Conference Football Media Day right here on Flow Sports.
Delta State is more than just a university. It's embracing your creativity. It's discovering your passion.